I get asked a number of questions on my hand conditioning videos, especially on my video that's entitled Iron Hand / Knuckle Conditioning Training Through Push-Ups, which is my most viewed video, currently at nearly 78,000 views. I get asked a lot of questions on that video and others, but especially that video, so I'm going to answer a few of them. I've done more specialized videos, which I'll link, but this is a general overview of like the top 10 questions, or the most frequently asked questions I get, 10 of them. Number one, do you get arthritis doing this sort of training? Some say yes, some say no. I know of many, especially I live here in Japan, karateka, or I see them, I don't know them personally, or some I know, but some I see, even in their 70s and 80s, that do very heavy conditioning. They'll have the calluses and you see the bones sticking out, not out of the skin, but what would you say, the excessive calcification of bones and stuff. So they've got like a spur, all this sort of thing. And these would be guys in their 70s and 80s that have been doing it for well over half a century. And on their downtime, they're playing the flute or the shamisen, or doing fishing, requires fine movements, threading a hook and all this sort of thing. What I'm trying to say is they don't have any, especially arthritis, anything nasty like that. Not to say it doesn't happen. Maybe some people are prone to arthritis no matter what they do. Well, they are prone to arthritis no matter what they do. A lot of critics of, like, I'm going to have to use the term iron hand training. I don't particularly like it. I find it a bit over the top. And let's face it, you're not going to make your hand like iron. You just make it tougher, because it's going to naturally get tougher doing the sort of repetitive striking and conditioning things. But I'll use iron hand because it's just easy. So critics of iron hand, they often like to point at, say, Mas Ōyama, the legendary founder of Kyokushin karate, and they say he had such bad arthritis towards the end of his life that he couldn't even bear for the quilt of his bed to touch his hands. I don't know if that's true or not. What I can say is, having read the books of both Judd Reed and Nicholas Petas, I think I'm pronouncing the surname correctly, two legendary Kyokushin heavyweights who trained under Mas Ōyama when they were young, towards the end of his life, like the last couple of years of his life. And they said Mas Ōyama trained with them, and they make no mention of him having any arthritis conditions. They said he did the training. He was in late 60s, 70s, early 70s. I think he passed away at 74. No, maybe 71. He died in 94, I think. But anyway, they make no mention towards the end, what would have been the end of his life. They make no mention of him having any arthritis conditions. So I don't know whether people that, if you do this training, you're going to get arthritis just like Mas Ōyama did. And if Mas Ōyama did, then he did exceptionally intense conditioning for hours a day. I mean, some say that his knuckles were fused together. All that, lived up on a mountain for 3 years and striking trees, using trees as makiwara in the punching post and all this sort of thing. So he did go to the extremes of conditioning if he had arthritis, but I've never heard anyone who knew him or trained under him say that he had it. Either Judd Reed, Nicholas Petas, or like John Blooming, the legendary Dutch karateka, who knew Ōyama well. Question 2, I've got pain doing this training. Should I keep going? No, stop. And once again, please stop. Do not keep going if you've got pain. Wait till it settles down. And then give yourself a few more days, and then just approach it your own body best. You're going to feel your limits. It's a good thing to push one limit. It's not a good push. It's not a good thing to push if if you're just in agony or something's clearly not right with your body. It needs to stop and be rested. More so if you're getting on a bit now. Which leads me naturally on to my third question to answer. Have you had any injuries relating to training, conditioning training? I guess they mean for hands. Yeah, I have. I had just a couple of years ago some weird thing in my hand. It really hurt. It was one tendon, and that took 6 months to sort of work itself out. But to be honest, I slowed down a bit on this hand, but I still sort of kept on training. It wasn't like overwhelming agony or something feeling really wrong. It was just something, just felt fatigued and weird. But I was a bit ginger with it. The worst thing I've had is 20 years ago now. I was doing the makiwara, the striking post, and I fractured my hand, and it blew up. I went to see I remember that the day I got the injury, my hand blew up a few hours later. It quite surprised me. I was doing the washing up at home. I looked down at my hand It was like that. It's quite horrific. And I went to see my brother's band play at some bar in the evening, and it was my excuse not to get a drink in because I couldn't even put my hand in my pocket. But the next morning it looked fine, and I thought great. And I went in to do judo. I went to this place to do judo, and I did one break fall, where you hit the mat with your hand, and I was like, yeah, no, oh, right, that's stupid. And then I stopped, and over the next few days, my fingers, they swelled up and they went purplish, sort of blood trapped in them or something. So, but I just stopped training for a while and let it heal, and I didn't go to, maybe I should have gone to hospital or something, but I touch wood, I never had any problems with it. And I was young, I was like in my 20s, so as long as it's not too bad, I guess when you're younger you can get stuff like that, get over stuff like that easier than when you're older. Question number 4: can you break a wall? I mean, I don't know. I don't even know if that question's intended to be serious and it's not just a joke. Then if it's a joke, haha. If it's not, what a question. God knows. I don't know. No. What, a wall of crumbling bricks that's been up for 150 years, or a wall made out of lead? Where do you go with that? I'll say no. 5: I'm 15, 13, 16, whatever, anything under, say, I'm about to say 18. Should I do this type of training? No. And once again, please, no, do not do training, any iron hand conditioning training under the age of, I'm going to say at least 18. Some even say 21. Bones are still forming, etc. And it's extremely dangerous. And I always make a point of definitely advising against it. There's loads of other training you can do, martial arts training, and then you can get into conditioning. And by the time, if you've been training for a while, you just do all the movements and you do the stretching and stuff. By the time you come on hand conditioning, if you do it consistently, then it's actually a lot better than if you try to push it and injured yourself too early on. It will just come naturally. So I take home message: no one under 18, I think, should do conditioning. Number 6: how long does it take to get knuckles like that? Knuckles like that, I guess, refers to these calluses. I don't know, I've just been it for years, and well, I've said this before, but for the sake of this video, I want calluses on my knuckles. It just happened. I think I've got weak skin. But the basic thing I would say, there's no how long until. Just keep going. Whether it's your first day, or whether you've been doing it for 10 years. Just do the training every day. Just push yourself as much as you can every day. Not too much to get injured, but so you go to bed, I was pleasantly exhausted. You get a good buzz on from knowing that you pushed yourself that day, and just weaving the training into whatever you can. Do push-ups wherever you can. I'm a big believer in push-ups on your knuckles, on your fingers, on the palm heel. I take the dog for a walk if I have to make sure no one's watching, but I sort of hit my hand against this walls outside along the river. I live by a river, so I can do quite a lot of conditioning there just by walking the dog. The way he sniffs around and has a pee and stuff, I can do quite a lot. It's just weaving the training into your daily schedule, so it becomes like eating, drinking, or, to be blunt, using the bathroom. It's just something you do on a daily basis as much as you can. So the basic thing is, there is no how. That sounds like Bruce Lee. There is no how long. There is no how long. You just carry on. Best not to think that way, in my humble opinion. 7: why do you do this? Why do you do this? What is the point of this? I've had people trying to go deeper, trying to do some COD psychology, going, you must not be very happy in your heart or something. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, why do people learn to play the French horn or the piccolo, or why do people do ballet or start sewing or whatever? You know where I'm going. There's a multitude of things which I don't get at all, but they're what give people a feeling of satisfaction, I guess, or pleasure, a feeling of accomplishment. That's why I do breaking. I like, if I've been trying to break something for a while and I finally get it, then I get a feeling of satisfaction. It's something I can focus on. There's no deeper thing than that. Anyone, same as the person who wants to go running and beat their personal best as to how quickly they can do a mile or something. Personally, I'd rather stick pins in myself and go running. I hate running, but I completely get other people. It gives them a release and a counteract against stress and stuff, and anything like that, rather than booze, drink or something. For me, is you know, it's great, it's healthy, it's a good release. So I think that's just it for me. You know, nothing really deeper than that. I just like braking. 8. Where is proof it works? Or show me proof it works. Yes, sir. Well, there's loads of videos, not just me, people braking all over YouTube. I mean, proper braking, not some of these, you know, other how to brake. I've moaned about those videos before where they break silly little bits of ply and stuff. I mean, people that actually break reasonably substantial items. So I mean, you can search Nana Nagasaki on my channel if it is Nana Nagasaki braking or Tamashiwali, and I'm doing brakes there. I don't claim to be anything special, but I've had to work up to the point I am now, and to be able to do the brakes that I do. Number 9, I want to do that. I want the conditioning. I want to be able to do the sort of brakes you do, but I don't want hands like yours. Yeah, some people. I used to train under this guy. He was called Ben as well, my age as well, and he could like do a punch on 3 bricks and braking and stuff. And I mean, he was a pretty solid guy. I mean, you could tell he did something. You think maybe a sport or boxing or something, but his hands weren't oh god, someone's just got back, that's the dog barking. His hands weren't marked in any way. Some people just don't get it. It's more internally stuff gets harder rather than they have any external signs like such. It's weak skin. Maybe it's not a good thing. Some people say you shouldn't have calluses at all. It's the stuff inside. You get a clump of cartilage develop in between the knuckles, which is going to be harder for me to get because these protrude. But you know, I've done exactly the same training like he did. But yeah, some people just don't get it. But it seems to be luck of the draw. You know, a lot of people, you're going to get something. It's going to show. So I used to have another teacher, but I've seen a few times, especially in Japan. They've got that bone there, stol. It's hit a lot of the times, and it rapidly calcifies and it sticks out like a spur. Obviously not through the skin, I mean, but you know, with the skin coming out. Double handy for braking, really great thing for braking. But that's, you know, extremely noticeable as much as calluses or whatever. But this stuff like that, the hip palm, it will get thicker almost certainly. You know, I don't see any way around that. So you know, your hand modelling career might not. You know, if you're modelling rings or something, where you've got to have nice hands, it might not be very good for that. Right, and my final question, I've got to check the right, do I use Dit Da Jow? This is another video I'll link in. I'll do a more thorough video of that. Dit Da Jow, you know, the liquid. No, I don't use it. My personal opinion is that I think it's a sort of Chinese folk remedy, and it might be good for treating sprains or mild inflammation. Have some beneficial effect on those because the ingredients, you know, ginseng or myrrh or something. But the claims I've seen for it are ridiculous. That you have to use it to. I saw a video the other day. There's a proper Okinawan karate master. It was a video from the 80s. It was an English BBC documentary, and this guy's using it. I mean, and this guy would be the last person I said, oh, it's rubbish. I mean, I never, you know, if people want to take it, great. But the commentator said he has to put this on to get his hands conditioned and to get calluses. For how ridiculous! This idea that you put a liquid on and you say, what, calluses appear? So it's absurd. Yeah, but that claim is it's one of the claims for it, that you need it for the iron hand. It toughens skin and stuff. It doesn't. There's the old gypsy bare knuckle thing, was you used to immerse your hands in petrol and that would make the skin go tougher. If anyone wanted to do that, but that's about it. You know, using ginseng, it's, as I said, I think it's got some mild. It's good for sprains or just reducing swelling, all that sort of thing. But no, anyway, I don't use it. Okay, so those are my most frequently asked 10 questions there on conditioning or so-called iron hand there. All right, cheers.